Welcome back, everyone. Peace and love. I am Queen Tamara of Astro Healing Arts Wellness Center, and we are live this evening for a special broadcast. We are talking about the topic preserving your mental and spiritual health. And this is in response to a lot of questions that I've been getting, a lot of inquiries, and issues surrounding these topics of mental and spiritual health because the two are go together. So before we go any further, please take the time to like and subscribe. Peace and love, Dia. Thank you for joining us this evening. And take the moment to subscribe if you are new to my channel. And also, I want to share with you all about the Healing Cipher Show, which is my radio show on Plugged In Network. We are in the process of moving currently, so you can still watch the show on pluggedinradio.com or on the Roku network, and the show is just running some old episodes. So if you missed any episodes of the Healing Cipher, you can feel free to catch up on it at this time, as it still airs on Monday nights on Plugged In Radio until we move into the new space. And I assure you it's going to be bigger and better than before. And I'm excited for the change and the new beginnings as always. So, peace and love, everyone. Tonight's topic is preserving your mental and spiritual health. And so, we're going to be talking about that because there is a lot of talk around that issue. This is nothing new, although a lot of people talk about mental health now like it's something new. It's an issue that has been around for forever, I guess. And in the past, a lot of things surrounding mental health and especially spiritual health was ignored or minimized or treated as if it wasn't important. And a lot of things were dismissed as a problem or problematic. And that's why there was such a big stigma around mental health. And my definition of mental health is the state of well being of your mind. And we know that we are spiritual beings having a human experience in this dimension. And so spiritual and mental go together. And matter of fact, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical all are in harmony together because what affects one affects the other. We are more than just physical beings. This is our body temple, but we are spiritual beings, and we have all of those things work in harmony together in a synchronistic rhythm, and that is mind, body, and spirit. And in order to address mental health issues, and we have to look at the root cause of these issues. What is the spiritual nature of the issue, or how is it affecting our spiritual health? How is it affecting our emotional and our physical health? So by the time a person's issues manifest in the physical, it's already started long ago in the spiritual or the higher dimensions of yourself. So if you have an issue, let's say with fear of abandonment issues, which can manifest in many ways in the physical realm, it's really a spiritual issue that you have to look at the root cause of the matter. Why are you feeling this fear of abandonment, or why do you have certain phobias, or why you have certain other mental health issues? You have to look at the spiritual aspect of it in order to fully begin the healing process. Many of us have lots of or face lots of mental health and spiritual and emotional health issues in addition to other health issues, and they all are in harmony together. So in order to fully heal or address these issues, you have to heal all aspects, the mind, the body, the spirit. It's all um, synchronized together. You cannot separate them. The separation is what causes a lot of the problems, because some people separate the mind, body, and spirit and just address one issue, um, or one at a time, and you really have to address them all. So many of us seek help through therapy or other methods of helping us to cope with our mental well-being, and it's fine. Whatever works for you works for you. There's no one size fits all for everyone. Some people is not effective, other people is. And also, I would like you all to know that you have the power within you to help you with your mental health issues and with your spiritual health issues. Yes, it's okay to seek help. So don't misunderstand what I'm saying. Yes, it's okay to seek help. By all means, seek help if you feel that you need it. If you feel that you need a therapist or psychiatric help or whatever you feel is best for you, I think that your spirit will guide you to where you need to go and where you need to be. And healing takes place on many different levels and many forms. So you may find your healing in therapy. You may find your healing in reading a self-help book. You may find your healing through spiritual ceremonies and rituals. You may find your healing um, through just exploring the spiritual aspect of life and tapping into the spiritual. But whatever you do, make sure that you do it with the express intention to heal. And healing, like I said, is something that is multidimensional. It takes place on all levels, and is not something that should just be compartmentalized, where you're just going to heal the physical, or you're just going to heal the emotional, or you're just going to heal the spiritual. You have to do it all together, hopefully together, for optimal healing. So let's talk about these mental health issues, spiritual health issues, and how to cope with these issues. Um, Growing up, speaking from my own personal experience, I was I faced a lot of different challenges and trauma, and I did not have coping skills. That was something that was not taught, at least not in my experience. I didn't get it. I didn't learn it anywhere. School, home, church, nowhere. It's coping skills, how to deal with certain issues, how to deal with life situations. And many people don't have coping skills. They don't know how to cope. They don't know how to handle trauma. They don't know how to handle stressful situations. They don't know how to handle and cope just day to day living, some people. And this is why a large number of people turn to outside themselves to seek comfort, to seek reassurance, to find a coping mechanism in the form of substance abuse or other outside influences. You know, some people tell me that they become addicted to video gaming because the gaming is a way for them to escape reality, to distract their mind from the stress and the things that they are dealing with, and they don't have the coping skills, and so the game is like an escape. So that often is that's a way that some people choose to cope or to escape the reality of the situation that they're facing, because they don't have coping skills. They feel powerless. They feel like the situation is beyond their control. They don't feel that they can handle or make proper decisions. So they're looking for an escape outside themselves. But the answers and the escape that we are looking for is inside ourselves. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Ways that we can help ourselves to cope with um, mental and spiritual issues. So remembering that, number one, that they're all combined. So let's start by my first suggestion: how to cope with mental and spiritual health. You want to preserve your mental and your spiritual and your emotional health at all costs. We are living in some interesting times in human history on this planet. It is the best of times for some people, and it is the worst of times for others. It's very challenging. And we all are feeling the effects of this great cosmic shift that's taking place on the planet, and we're all experiencing it in different ways. And there's stress and tension that comes along with these changes that are taking place within our families, changes that are taking place within our lives and our careers, our health, etc. And these changes can cause a lot of challenges. It can cause stress. It can even be traumatic at times, if, especially if you're a person that has difficulty accepting change or working with change. And many people say change is the only constant. So learning how to roll with the punches, as you would say, or learning how to adapt to change can be challenging for a lot of people, especially if they don't have coping skills and they don't know how to just self-soothe or reassure themselves and just get through one challenge at a time. So let's start by number one, start by examining yourself. When it comes to your mental and spiritual and emotional health, are you contributing to the difficulties that you are facing? So before you point fingers at other people or say such and such is causing me to be stressed out or causing um a strain on my mental health, or just you know aggravating me, start with yourself first. Look at yourself, and are you contributing to any of the stress or anguish, whatever that you're feeling? Are you um not listening to your inner voice? Are you facing challenges and you're not seeking the answers within? You're not doing what needs to be done for yourself, and you're looking outside of yourself all the time for the answers? Are you someone that needs a lot of soothing, a lot of reassuring, and a lot of grounding, but instead of seeking those answers or those solutions on your own, you're always looking for someone else to do that for you? Are you that kind of person? And if so, what are some things that you can do to activate your own power and start by being that soothing, powerful grounding force for yourself? So, like I said, are you not listening to your inner voice? Are you feeling a strong urge and a strong nudge in your spirit to move out of a area, to move from a toxic relationship or living arrangement? Are you being nudged to follow your highest good? And are you being nudged to follow your purpose or seek your purpose? Do you even know what your purpose is? And all of these things can cause us stress on our mental and some level of anguish and anxiety, fear, etc. So you may need to look within and say, am I listening to that voice within? Am I obeying that urge to move? Am I having like dreams and visions um of my purpose? And I'm not following it? Look at that first. See if that is you. And if it is and it fits you, then let's do something about that. Let's focus on you being told that your job no longer serves you and no longer brings you joy and satisfy your soul. And maybe it's that time in your life to do something different. You know how some people say someone may have a midlife crisis. Well, that crisis can happen at any time in your life. And I don't call it a midlife crisis. I just call it a spiritual awakening. And it can take place anytime in your life. It can happen as a young person. It can happen during childhood even. It can happen as a young adult. At any point in your life, you may have this strong desire to just change everything. And, you know, a lot of these people, when they go through this, they change their outer appearance. Like they may change their hair color dramatically, cut their hair suddenly, start dressing different, get a different car, do things like that. But really, the desire is coming from within to do something different, to change. So if you are feeling that you need to make a new career choice, do something that satisfies your soul. Um, Learn to work for yourself, and perhaps and make money work for you instead of work for money. You may have those kind of feelings and been ignoring them out of fear of lack or fear of what um, others would say or family members would say, or just the fear of not having enough, but it's not making you happy and not making you satisfied. That can cause a tremendous amount of stress on us, and those things need to be addressed right away, because in order to be happy, you have to really look at yourself and look within and find what is it that makes you happy, what is it that satisfies your soul, what is your purpose for being here. If you haven't discovered your purpose, start meditating and praying and seeking the answers to find what is your purpose for living, for being here, and discover ways to express that purpose, which will give you so much joy and take a lot of the dissatisfaction and unhappy feelings and thoughts that you have. We have a question in the chat room: how to cope with anxiety. I'm going to take a moment and speak on that. Anxiety is a form of fear, and it has many different roots. It can be real or imagined fear of something that happened in the past, and we keep reliving it in our minds, or the way we responded to something that happened long ago, or certain stressors, and we just feel this sensation of um, fear or panic or uneasiness, um, all of that irritability, all of that, it can be a form of anxiety. And coping with anxiety is getting to the root cause of anxiety. What is it that you are anxious about? Are you anxious about new situations? Are you anxious about being in crowds? Are you anxious speaking in front of people? Are you anxious in new situations? Whatever it is that's causing the anxiety, sit down and think about what is it that I'm feeling this anxiety. What is causing me to have this anxiety? If you have an anxiety attack every time you go to work, then chances are it's the job or the environment or the people you're around that are making you feel a certain type of way. Maybe it's the energy in the place, whatever. And just think about what is it that is causing the anxiety, number one. And then when you discover what it is that's causing the anxiety, doesn't matter what it is, real or imagined, how can you eliminate it or make it easier to cope with? So perhaps you feel anxiety at work. Is it because your cubicle is in a location that's not comfortable for you? Do you feel a sense of uneasiness because the people you're sitting around, or maybe your back is to the door? Maybe you need to change your position. Maybe you need to try a different surrounding. Just discover what is it that's actually causing the anxiety. That's the first thing, and then eliminate that thing that is causing the anxiety. If you feel anxious every time you drive, maybe you should stop driving. Maybe take the bus sometimes. Let somebody else do the driving. Maybe you should carpool with someone else. Um, get a bike ride it. Whatever. Just try something different to see what is causing the anxiety, and then if it's a issue with driving, which is a source of anxiety for a lot of people. Is it because you're afraid of an accident, or have you been in an accident in the past that traumatized you so much that it gives you anxiety every time you drive or every time you ride in the car. So just look at and examine what is causing anxiety, and then eliminate the things that are causing it. Another way to cope with anxiety is have um, a practice that will relax and calm you. For example, you may have a meditation that you do when you feel anxiety, a breathing technique that can help you cope with anxiety, a mantra, a prayer. Find something that can immediately calm your mind and your senses. Once you feel the anxiety starting to come on, you can go to that place, that happy place in your mind where you are in full control and where you feel relaxed and calm. So a mantra, a zikr, a special and word that will help you, or whatever it is. It could be a breathing technique, whatever. Use that, and use that faithfully every time that you have it, and then it will give you the control over your body, over your senses, so you won't feel so anxious. You can also take supplements which help keep your mind calm and balanced. Supplements like passion flower, valerian, St. John's wort, gotu kola, ginkgo. All of those are herbs that are really good for feeding the brain and helping to calm and relax the mind. Eating nutritious foods, make sure you stay hydrated, because sometimes not being hydrated can also cause you to not feel your best, and that can lead to anxiety as well as being dehydrated. So I hope that was helpful for answering that question. Back to ways to preserve your mental and spiritual health. Focus on the power of positive thinking. Never underestimate how powerful positive thinking is. Being pessimistic and instantly thinking negative things when something happens is not productive at all. And looking for the positive situation in any given situation is the best solution. Yes, things are going to happen. That's life. It's not always going to be pleasant and pretty, but look for the positive in it and keep your mind thinking positive and elevated. Um, in any situation, something happens, don't instantly think of, oh God, what's the worst that could happen, or this or that. Focus on the positive thinking. The positive thinking will cause a positive reaction in your body and will help you get through any stressful or painful situations. Your mind can be your worst enemy sometimes, because the mind, some people say it plays tricks on you, but what I say is the mind can just run rampant with thoughts sometimes. And some people call that the monkey mind or whatever, your lower self, your it's so many different names for it, but it's the mind can kind of be open and suggestive to all kinds of things. And you have to train your mind and keep your mind focused on what you want it to be focused on, because the mind is powerful. And if you think something, it becomes a reality. Just like that saying, as a man or woman thinketh, so are they. So if you're constantly thinking negative and recycling in your mind negative thoughts, negative experiences from the past, all of that is going to have an effect on your mental and spiritual health and your emotional health, and it's going to be unhealthy and unhealthy for you. And so the best thing to do is to focus on positive thinking, focus on seeing the silver lining or the good in any and every situation. And you can do that, and you will find that answer for yourself. Because the mind, if you let your mind rule you and run rampant, you'll be in an unhappy state all the time. So you have to really control the mind, focus the mind, and keep your mind in check. positive, keeping the thoughts high and high vibrating, staying away from things that will cause you to have unnecessary worry, doubt, fear, or anxiety. All right, next, guard your thoughts against negative thinking. If you have friends and family that you know are always saying negative things, always talking poor mouth, always complaining, always, the glass is half empty. They're only capable of saying negative things to you, about you, or to other people. You got some people, all they do is get together with the trauma bonding and the negative talk and just sit and have something negative to say about everybody that walks by. Those kind of people are not healthy for you to be around, and it's not conducive to have those kind of conversations, because all it starts is with one negative thought and idea, and next thing you know, the whole conversation has become negative or low vibrating. So be mindful of what you listen to and who you listen to and what kind of conversations you're having. That's a great way to guard your mind and your thoughts against negative thinking. Pay attention to what you're consuming, not only the foods that you eat, but the thoughts and what you're around. Lots of people like to watch the news, and then they'll tell me, it made their blood pressure go up, or it stressed them out, or it made them sad, or something like that. Stop watching and listening to things that create an emotional response in you. And that's any kind of media. It can be social media, the other media, whatever. If it's something that is not productive and not high vibrating and not uplifting to your spirit and your mind, then avoid it. Another thing that you can do to preserve your mental and spiritual health is surround yourself with high vibrational experiences, people, places, and activities that feed your spirit and that help you feel good about yourself and just good about life. So, if you're the kind of person that's kind of introverted, or if you're somebody that's prone to depression, anxiety, PTSD, or whatever, surround yourself with experiences that bring joy and happiness to you, that you can sit and look back and reflect on. Just like you may sit around and think about and reflect on painful, traumatic experiences in the past, replace them with some happy, blissful, exciting, new experiences. Go out and, meet new people, take a trip. If you don't have enough money to travel somewhere long distance, go for a walk somewhere different. Find a park, find something else. Just ride a subway somewhere different. Walk and explore things. Go places that are free. Like, I think museums, some of them are free. Go to some nature centers or something. Do something different and surround yourself with those kind of experiences. Take up a new hobby, do something different, do something you've always wanted to do, but you said you never had time to do, or you always had something interfering to with it. Like, you may have wanted to run in a marathon, but you've never done it, and you always had some reason why you couldn't. Well, pursue that. Pursue, find out when the next one is coming, find one that's, for a charitable cause or whatever, and train and do that. That feeling of that training and preparing for it, those are happy memories that you can look back on. Take lots of pictures of you getting ready for it or whatever it is. And this is something new that you can think about and have these new memories and experiences in your mind. And you'll meet people who are like-minded when you pursue these new and exciting experiences that you're creating. They will help be memories for you as well. And you may even meet new friends or people that feed your spirit, that encourage you, that nurture you as you're pursuing this new life for yourself, and preserving your mind and your spirit. Make sure you eat healthy, nutritious foods and take supplements to properly nourish the body. When your body is not properly fed and you're malnourished, you won't feel well, and that can lead to feeling depleted, feeling weak, feeling lackadaisical, not having low energy, and that can also lead to low vibrating feelings like depression or unhappiness. There's so many different things that can cause depression or sadness, and not eating properly is one of those things, because when you don't have proper nutrition, your brain and your nervous system doesn't work at its best optimal level, nor does the rest of the body. So you want to make sure that your food is your medicine and your medicine is your food. Make sure you eat healthy, nutritious food that will give you the energy and the nutrients that you need to keep your brain and your nervous system working, functioning properly, and your body, so you won't be susceptible to feeling bad, feeling low, not having the energy to do anything, which can lead to the other issues that you don't want to have. A depletion of nutrients can cause depression and mood swings, actually. So you want to make sure that you're feeding your food, your brain, and your body proper food, stay hydrated, um, and just make sure you take supplements so that you can get the extra nutritional boost that you need. And it could be in the form of vitamins. Um, Make sure you take your sea moss every day, stuff like that. Spend time in nature daily. That is something that I strive to do, because that helps me a whole lot when it comes to staying balanced and staying healthy mentally and spiritually. Spending time in nature, sun gazing, going for walks, taking your shoes off and walking around in your yard, walking in the park, grounding, earthing, feeling balance. It helps you feel balanced. It helps relieve stress and anxiety. It helps it has a soothing effect on your spirit being outside. Even if you're outside just sitting on a park bench and watching the birds and squirrels, or sitting near water, is especially soothing. So if you're feeling a lot of stress and anxiety or depression, ask yourself, when was the last time you went to the beach, or when was the last time you went to a river, or a lake or something like that? And the chances are you probably say it's been a while. And if it is, then you need to quick, fast, in a hurry, plan a trip to be near water. It has a tremendous effect on us mentally and spiritually. And, we are over 80% water, and water has a soothing, healing effect on all of us. The sound of it, the feel of it is just something about water. The energy of it is so healing, so soothing, and we need that on a regular basis as beings that also are made of water. So spend time in nature daily. 5 minutes, whatever, as much as you can. Have an outside break, um, and I guarantee it's going to shift your energy, and shift you how you feel. Um, Make sure you get enough sleep. Getting adequate sleep also helps your mind and your emotions. People who are sleep deprived are usually crankier, quick to anger, irritable, don't speak positive, and have a hard time remembering things. A lot of times when a person is very forgetful, it's because they're sleep deprived, and getting enough sleep is essential to good health. In addition to, you know, drinking lots of water, staying hydrated, eating healthy, exercise, all those things are great, but make sure you get enough sleep. Certain hormones are released in the body during the sleep time and the dream time, and those hormones are essential for our moods and soothing the mind and the brain. And a lot of them help in so many tremendous ways. When we think about hormones, we always think about the reproductive hormones or hormones that are produced by the thyroid. And a lot of us don't think about um, the things that are taking place within our bodies while we're sleeping that is so essential for our health. Certain hormones are only produced during the time that we sleep. So we need that. And it's essential that we get that and give your body a chance to rest. Sometimes when you're doing too much and not getting enough sleep and just living off of caffeine, that can be very detrimental to your health. And it can doesn't give you the coping skills that you need to handle stress and anxiety and things like that. Um, Adopt spiritual practices daily. If you don't have any, make sure that you find one that you feel comfortable with, that you know you can realistically stay consistent with. It doesn't matter what that spiritual practice is. It could be prayer. I'm a big supporter of prayer, but prayer, meditation, um, chanting, reading scriptures, whatever it is that brings satisfaction to your soul and helps you to feel better, do that. Have time in your day for your spiritual practices. I highly recommend starting your day off with it in the rising time and have a set of rituals that you do to get started on your day. If you need that pick me up in the middle of the day, have some time for your spiritual practices then, and then again in the evening. But think about it. You have 24 hours in a day. You probably spend maybe 8 or more working. Make sure you have some time in that day for yourself, for your spirit and your mind, body, and spiritual practices. So don't just focus on the physical, also focus on the spiritual, which will give you extra tools when it comes to dealing with and coping with stressors. Exercise. Exercise is another very important thing to do to feel better and to energize and to raise endorphins in the body, which are hormones that help you with feeling better and feeling energized and happy. So make sure you get some kind of exercise. It can be simple things like going for a walk, stretching, um, jogging, riding a bike, walking the treadmill, whatever it is, just do something that is raising your heart rate and gets you moving. The exercise will help when it comes to coping with things. Practice energy work. I would recommend doing some form of energy work or energy movement daily. But if that's not in your schedule, make sure you do it several times a week. And so energy work or movement that I'm referring to are things like Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, martial arts. All of those things work with the mind body spirit connection, and the movement is a form of medicine. So let this movement be medicine. The movement, the asanas in yoga, the movements in Tai Chi, Qigong, and martial arts, not only do they strengthen the body and work on that, but they also calm your mind, your nervous system. um, they boost your metabolism. They help in so many ways. And it's not just physical, it's mental and spiritual as well. For example, I studied Kung Fu for a few years, and the Kung Fu teacher that we had would have us meditate at the end of class every day. So every time we had class, the last like 10 minutes, we would sit quietly and meditate. So it's not just physical exercise, it's also mental and spiritual as well. Um, Another thing that you can do to help preserve your mental and spiritual health is traveling to change your scenery. Travel doesn't have to be far. You can change your scenery by just moving around more, going different places. Let's say if you always go to the same mall, the mall near your house, okay? Go to a different one. Go start going to other ones, explore different places. If you always go and do the same thing, you'll always see the same thing, which can sometimes be sad and depressing or just not uplifting to you. Do something different. If you are not satisfied with your house, instead of moving to a new one, why don't you change something? Like paint the walls a different color, get different furniture, cover the furniture with fabric or something, make it look different, make it look brighter, um, put more plants in your house. The energy of living things in the house can uplift your mood and make you feel better. Put more flowers in your home, those living things like that. Not only do flowers look beautiful, but they actually help liven your mood. That's why people give people flowers on special occasions, because it does make people feel better, and they give life because it's a living thing. So do something like that. When I say travel to change your scenery, you don't have to physically travel to another place, but just do something different. Change your scenery where you are. Rearrange the furniture in your house. Maybe you feel uptight or anxious because of the setting or the surroundings. Change things around, move things around, declutter your house. Clutter can cause anxiety, because I know when I go over somebody's house and they got too much stuff, that makes me feel some type of way. So do something like that. Change that. Change your just the energy around you. Like I said, if you always go to the same mall, you always go to the same store in the house, go to a different one. Try something different. Don't always go to the same place and do the same thing, because if you always doing the same thing, you'll get the same results. Try something different. If you know you want a trip and your end of summer trip is coming, or you always go somewhere for, I don't know, your birthday or whatever, and you always go to the same place, go somewhere different this time. Or if you have never taken a train ride, take a train instead of the plane. Do something different, change the scenery. That will, like I said, will create new high vibrational experiences for you, and it will just change your life. Do something different. Don't be scared. Do something different. Try a new hobby. If there's everybody should have a hobby. And if you don't, I'm telling you right now, find one. Find something fun that you can do for yourself. It could be making jewelry, it could be um, wood shop and building something, painting. If you like plants, start a garden, start a plant club, do something, grow some plant, do something different. Whatever it is that you want to do more of it. Or if it's something you've never done and you've always wanted to try it, explore it, give it a try. I learned in 2019 how to kayak and how to canoe. Things I had wanted to do for a long time, never got around to it. Finally took a class, changed my life. I've been a different person since then. I go kayaking frequently now. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It's relaxing to be on water and to just float and enjoy myself and enjoy being in nature. So much fun. So do something for yourself. um get a facial, pamper yourself. Do something that you enjoy. Don't make any excuses. Don't say, well, don't let the money get in the way, or whatever it is that you feel like you want to do. Do something realistic that you can do for yourself, and make this a part of your life and your daily routine. Another thing you can do is make self-love and self-care a regular part of your life and a part of your daily life. So all the other things that I mentioned can be examples of self-love, but other examples of loving yourself and self-care is being careful and mindful of how you talk to yourself. What do you say? What kind of encouragement you give yourself? um, all the other things matter as well, but also make sure that you take care, the ultimate care of yourself, because you deserve it. And many of us take care of, and express love to other people all day, every day. But when it comes to us, we often forget ourselves and neglect ourselves. And that's not fair and that's not right. So you got to make sure that you include yourself. You know, if you're a mom or dad and you have children, and put the children to bed a little bit earlier so you can have some time to yourself. So if you normally let them go to bed 8:30 or 9 or something like that, put them to bed early so you have more time for your self-care and your self-love, and to pursue some of these things that I said earlier, like pursue your hobby, have time for your spiritual practices, um, do some, healing in nature. This is your time. Set up a time in your day that's just for you to pursue your self-care and your self-love. And last but not least, be extra patient and loving towards yourself and others during this time. This is a stressful time, like I said, for some people, and the best of time for others. And we're all coping in different ways, and some people not coping at all. So just be extra patient with yourself, extra loving. And remember, this is the first time we've ever been through this type of cosmic shift and natural time. It has not happened like this before. So be patient, be loving, be caring to yourself. Remember, you are a spiritual being having human experiences. And with these human experiences, sometimes there are mistakes or bad choices, and that's okay because you're learning from them and you're growing. So don't beat up on yourself. That's counterproductive. Don't be so harsh and critical to yourself and others. Just be a more patient, more loving, more caring, um, and just continue to surround yourself with those loving, peaceful, patient thought and encouraging thoughts. So I hope this was very helpful, family. To those listening and watching later, if you have any questions, um, or comments, please post them below or send me an email. I'll do my best to answer them, to the best of my abilities. I hope this was very helpful to you all. It's not a light issue. It's very serious what's going on in the world around us, and a lot of us are struggling and having a hard time at this time. So make sure you're patient and loving and caring to one another. Say a prayer for yourself and others. Do some good today. Do some good every day, and we'll get through this together and be with one another on the other side as we move into and transition into this new earth. So I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for your support, for listening and subscribing. Peace and love.